Let's see if it'll work this time then, shall we? I need some water now. I think it's gonna work somehow. Yay! Yay! I wanna rock and roll to the pub. I don't. Not me, I'm not that person. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a typography video because I was asked by one of my viewers. Her name is meowsaidthecow. I like that, that's a really cool name. And she was wondering if I could do a typography video because I've done a lot of it in my art sketchbook. I'll quickly get some up for you. So this is one, for example, I feel like I'm doing an art video again. Yeah, this is one, for example, I did for Salvador Dali, that's one. Here's one for surrealists. I'll find one more. And then there's one for Joseph Cornell. And I had never actually thought of doing a video. From what I remember, I can't remember thinking of doing a typography video. I'm sure in time I would have because it is one of my favourite things to do. On Pinterest I actually have my own board which has typography, and if I see a really nice font that I like then I will pin it and then yeah, I can come back to it. So today I thought I'd show you how to do some of the fonts and how I learn how to do them. So here is a sneak peek of some of the fonts that I have chosen to draw, and I tried to do a mix and match. I tried to do some that were 3D, some were really fancy, some were quite arty, just to cover as many as I possibly could. Right, before I begin, if you're someone who's watching this video and is a specialist in typography, I know the things that I do isn't normally how you're meant to do them, but I don't have all those fancy pens, so I've learnt my way around them. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, you don't need these fancy pens. I wish I had them personally, but I don't, and you know, sometimes you just can't get them, and especially when you're a student, you know, you can't always afford those type of things. So I just literally use a marker pen for thick, just to colour things in easily. I also, well, I tried using this fine liner. This is like running out badly, so I didn't use that. And then I normally use a ball pen, is that what it's called? Just like a normal regular ball pen. And this is, yeah, this is really, really good. I also use a pencil. I only use a pencil in one of them because I was just that person that was a daredevil and I just went for it. And if I made a mistake, then I just worked my way around it. But I suggest if you're not comfortable, then please use a pencil because remember, you're drawing in pens, you can't rub it out and you'll regret that. So, I'm going to start off, let's move on to the clips of me drawing them. So what I did was I wrote all of the fonts in typography just to make it easier, so it was easy to tell the difference. If I did loads of different words, it would be hard to know the difference. So like I said earlier about Pinterest, Pinterest is an amazing website, what you call app thing, that you can find so many good ideas. It's perfect for things when you want to get creative. So typography is perfect. If you type in, it comes up with billions of fonts. So I definitely suggest that as being one of your sites if you want to find out how to do some. But the site that I used throughout the video was called, I want to get this right because I actually typed in the wrong site and then my laptop kind of like went into this like weird like scan mode and I was like, oh my god, but then I realised I was on the wrong site. Okay, it's www.fontspace.com and it is a brilliant site. I don't even know how many fonts it has. I think it has like thousands, maybe millions, who knows. It's just so good. You basically, it comes up with a search box. I'm sure I'll do a little fancy overlay clip of me typing in for an example. Comes up with a little search box and you just type in your words. So I wrote in typography and then it comes up with that word written loads and loads of different fonts, which is so handy. Also, the great thing about this site is that it comes up with a lot of different genres for you to choose from. So if you don't really know what you want, first of all, you can just click on some of them and they give you some really good examples. The first one I found was called Quaskin Black Personal Use, a bit of a weird name, but there'll be an image on right now of the font's name if you want to see how it's spelled because it's quite a weird name. And I chose this font because I know these type of fonts can be quite fancy and quite nice. I think a lot of people like them. So what I did first of all was draw it out using pencil. just to show you guys that sometimes pencil is the best way to go. And then what I did was got my marker pen and then went on top of the pencil, just like a regular thing that you'd normally do. And then once the marker was dry, I just rubbed out the pencil. Just make sure the marker's dry though, because you do not want to smudge it, because it's pen, and what if you're doing it on your actual work, and that would just be really, really bad. Now if you look closely at this font, you will recognise that some parts of the letters are much more thicker than others. So what I did to achieve this was using the marker pen still, and then just thickening the lines in areas that it looked like it was a lot more thicker. Basically, that's all it is. Of course, if you do actually have a proper pen, then it would automatically do those lines for you, but you just kind of have to do it yourself. But sometimes it's nice because then you kind of get to control the letters how you like, and I still have a lot more fun doing it anyway. The second font that I chose to do is such a fun one, and I think a lot of people will like this. I've used it a couple of times in my book. I got it for Christmas, but it's a really nice quality, so I decided to call it my book of everything. And it's kind of like a blog, I'd say, like a life blog, but I just put it in an actual book for me, so then when I grow up then I get to read back. So I kind of like to do little things in there, and I like to do different fonts in that one for each different story. And one that I use a lot is definitely Cookie Monster. I really like how cute it is with like the little hearts and like the little drawings. It just really reminds me of like doodling, and I love doodling so much. So all I did was copy this straight away from the image. This site is just incredible because you don't have to go through the alphabet and try to find the letter. It just literally writes out there for you, and then you just get to have fun. So I just wrote it out using the pen, the ball pen, and then any of the letters that actually have like, I don't know what to call it, but you know, like an E, it has like the circle, and like, yeah, like the A has the circle and O has the circle and stuff like that. You just fill them in using lines, you can see in the video. The next one I decided to choose, I thought kind of reminded me a lot of graffiti. I've never actually done that kind of style before, so I was quite intrigued to try it out. So all I did was use the biro pen to write out the letters, and I kind of did them, you know, like how bubble writing, it's like 3D, kind of like that. That's how I did it. So once all the letters were done, I took the thick permanent marker and then I just outlined it again to thicken the lines and also make it pop more. And I thought this one looked really, really cool and looked really, really nice in like art sketchbooks, because I feel it would pop out the page and make it really prominent. As you can see by the rest, I haven't used a pencil because I am that kind of person that just goes for it. And I don't, sometimes I just feel like I'm quite comfortable with what I'm doing, because most of the time I feel like, I don't know, my hands just seem to like magically do it fine, and then it turns out being really, really good, and I really, really like it. The next one I chose is definitely one of my favourites. I've never seen it before. It is one that I thought I would have seen before, but that site has so many different designs, I don't blame myself. This one is really, really cool because I like the little patterns on it, and I think it is really like art. I think I found it in the Art Deco genre, and I really like it because there's a lot of Aztec, and I think people who are really into like drawing, like, I don't know what they're called, they're like those really cool like pattern designs. I think those type of people would really, really love doing that font because it's kind of that really nice style. And I just did this using a ballpoint pen again and just copying it. This site is basically all you need, that and a couple of pens, and then you can achieve anything you like. It's so, so simple, and sometimes you don't need all the fancy stuff just to create things. And the name of this font is called Wild Crazy. It is wild and crazy. So for the next one, I decided to do a 3D one because I didn't feel like I had really covered that yet. And I think 3D is really nice to have. I think a lot of people like it too. This one is called National Cartoon, if any of you are wondering and want to search that up on the site. And I really like this one because I like how things like the P, the Y and the G all just flow out at the bottom. I think that's really nice and kind of really different, rather than the P just being straight and the Y just being, you know, really curved. I like the way it flows, and all I did for this was write out each letter, and then once I felt comfortable and felt like they were finished, I started adding in the shadow. Now I know 3D things can be really hard to do, obviously because you're copying from, you know, the picture, you would find it easier, but you just have to, I'm trying to think of like a good way to show you. I'm sure there's a diagram somewhere explaining it a lot more. But once you get the gist of it, it's so easy and just can make your letters look really, really cool. The next one I chose was one that I did previously. It was the Salvador Dali one, and I'm really glad I managed to find it on the site again, because I was searching through the genres, and when I found it I was like, yay, because I think this is definitely one of my favourite fonts ever, and I think a few people wanted to know that one, or I'm guessing so. But it's so easy. It is called KB Dunk Tank Fancy. It is basically just block letters, and I just used that using the big marker pen, and then I just got the ballpoint pen just to slightly outline. You want to leave a little bit of room so there's like this white edge going around it, which I really like, but you don't want to leave so much that will be like, you know, in your face kind of thing. But this is one of my favourite fonts, and it's one of the easiest, which is really good. Then the last one I decided to do is called Notera Personal Use Only. I'm guessing it's just called Notera, I'm not sure. You'll see on the photo. This one is really pretty, and I think a lot of people like this kind of font. It's really kind of like smooth and elegant, but also kind of looks like it would be personally handwritten, which is why I decided to choose it, because I really like those type of fonts that are purposely kind of made to look like they're like handwritten and like kind of a little bit like cool. So I decided to use this one. I only used the ball pen. I didn't thicken it. I just instantly just copied it from the photo, just because I like the simplicity of it and I thought it looked really nice. So to finish off typography, I thought I'd just do an example of how some people like to decorate them, and they do this by doing like fancy little, like, I called them decoration lines when I searched on Google. I don't think that's their actual name, because I literally found like one photo that was what I was looking for, and then it had others that linked onto it, so I was like, yay! Oh, I realised they're called borders and elements apparently. Fancy. But these are like those decoration lines. I'm sure you'll see one on screen I'm drawing now. I just searched into Google, and then I just split it in half, and then I just put it either side of the large, let's call it graffiti font at the bottom, because I felt like this was the most like prominent one that was standing out. Yeah, I just think that like doing these little decorations, a lot of people really like that, and I think it adds to it a lot. I think the hard thing about it is making sure it's symmetrical. Like, I found that the hardest bit was making sure that it was symmetrical, but it turned out being okay, and I actually really like it. So there we have it. That is how I do typography. I know that's not the correct way, and I'm sure there's someone else's video out there that does it the correct way. But was it meowsaidthecow? She wants to know how I did typography, and I was really flattered to do it, because it's definitely something that I love and want to continue doing. And after doing it all day today, I just want to do it more and more, so yeah. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want me to do some more design videos, I will happily do that. This is something that I love doing anyway, and remember, you don't need all the fancy kit just to achieve stuff. So thank you to meowsaidthecow for recommending this to me. That means a lot. When you guys suggest videos, it just gets me really excited to do them, so thank you for allowing me the opportunity to do it. I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye! I can't talk today, okay? Okay? Okay, everyone? My ear is burning. Can you see how red that is? It's like on fire right now. I think it's because I just keep messing up my words and my brain's just going crazy, or my ear's going crazy. That is how I do photography. Hey guys, this is a video about photography, but instead I'm showing you typography. Wow. Yeah, I will see you guys next week for a video.